We drove it in here, and once it's done sitting here at the end of our exhibit, we will drive it out of here. We will remove the flowers, but the rest of the outside pieces will remain. This took about a week to do. That's because Marta has this cool little printer that makes these big stickers that you can put on the bus. There has to be some level of paint on a MARTA bus, so it's quite easy to make public transportation this much more beautiful and welcoming and inviting.
Okay, interesting. What do the flowers represent?
So they're just ramping up the whole message that you can make public transportation more welcoming and inviting. MARTA has this reputation of being dangerous, filled with criminals, but you are far less likely to die riding in MARTA than riding on a bus and riding in your car, just because car accidents are so much more common than bus accidents.
Okay, that's true.
So there's no check-in and check-out times. It's just a shed somewhere
Chronic
in
stress
Atlanta that
truly does get under the skin of the people experiencing it, which produces a lifetime of significant effects.
They have two models.
This is why
this big one and this little out-of-the-way one. We don't have it here, but the normal actual house will have a little stove by the side too. But it gives homeless people a chance to live somewhere with some actual privacy, and they don't need to prove that they are not using drugs, that they are not in any danger of being sexually assaulted, because they're in a group area with a lot of people and not a whole lot of supervision.
And what are these called? Hot houses?
Yes.
Okay. And are these...
The organization is Mad Housers.
Mad Houses. Are they planning on building a bunch of these?
Yeah, so they started in the 80s, and they're still going.
How many have they built?
That I do not know. They had to pause during COVID, and some of them have been taken down.
So what's this?
So this is our privilege bricks. So you can use the seesaw. You can put on something that raises you up, and you can put on something that drags you down. So let's say you put on college educated on one side, and you can see how many bricks it takes to overcome that on the other side.
Oh, okay.
I do like to see all the little things people put up here.
Very interesting.
I had never heard of this community. It existed until the 70s, during the Jimmy Carter governorship. He started pushing people out via eminent domain laws and just hiking up the rents, because a lot of these communities were filled with lower income black people who were unable to own their own houses due to redlining. They're mostly renters. It was relatively easy to push out people who had been there for generations.
Well, it seems like it's happening now. The cost of living is so ridiculous. Home prices starting in the 400s, and I don't know what's going to happen. because a lot of people can't afford to live in Atlanta anymore. And rents are so overpriced.
People always like to make jokes about the Civil Rights Museum over by the World of Coke. That pushed out some low-income communities.
Yeah. That's ironic, right?
Yeah.
They pushed out people to make a museum.
Yes.
Wow. Sounds like Atlanta. Sounds just like something they do in Atlanta. So it was called the Lightning?
Yeah.
Lightning what? Neighbors?
There's just a couple streets, but that's what they called themselves. It wasn't a formalized city.
I've never heard of it. So this happened in the early 1900s?
Yeah, so they started building it in the 1900s, but most of the people were pushed out by the 70s.
Well, they pushed a lot of people out after in the 2000s, early 2000s too. I remember when I moved here in '02, they pushed bunch of Atlantans out of Atlanta into the suburbs, into DeKalb County. I forgot what part of Atlanta that was, but it happens a lot.
I think Atlanta's interesting because we don't have as much city planning. So you don't see these like dramatic lines of low income to high income communities. So you don't notice when people get pushed out because it's a couple streets, it's an apartment building, and then all of a sudden everybody's gone.
And then there's some skyscrapers being put in place of it. High-rise condos. Wow.
And then, of course, 2 decades after they put in the stadium, they built a new stadium.
Exactly.
Right? I told the truth on that test. I was like, yeah, my friends don't. I don't like math, and I failed the gifted test. And then next year, I took it again, and I lied, and I got into gifted. But showing footage from the Capitol riots and Charlottesville, and this is running a facial recognition technology that is based off of the movie Breaking It to Electric Boogaloo. It might seem kind of random. The idea is that most facial recognition softwares are based off of these like criminal databases, or they'll plug in like celebrities. If a witness says this person kind of looked like Woody Harrelson, but they don't have a clear picture of the subject, just put in a celebrity doppelganger. Right? So this is poking fun at all the flaws in facial recognition technology. You'll see this. This is Sarah. She's had the lead score for a while. She's one of our mediators. And she's, clearly not a rapper from a random 80s movie. But she's got a 92% match.
Oh, that's funny. And she works here?
Yes.
And she's a match with electro rapper?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But she doesn't look anything like him. So are they going to match me? Who do I look like?
Well, if you look up at the camera, it works a little bit better, but sometimes you get people who just don't happen to look like someone from that movie.
Let me take my glasses off.
That's why our algorithm is trained on the faces of characters from the 1984 movie Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. By using this filter, we are able to anti-law enforcement militia
Let me know when it's done.
who took their name from the
Oh no, it doesn't pop up down there unless you.
sacrifice by uploading photographs to search for suspected criminals among their friends, family, and even themselves. Who goes bias? Facial recognition by any means necessary. Facial recognition has become a vital tool for law enforcement around the world. But police officers don't often have clear, high-quality images of suspects. Fortunately, the current lack of regulation allows for the use of creative technological solutions. One solution has been brute forcing facial recognition by substituting artist sketches, computer composite images, and even images of celebrity doppelgangers to find a suspect.
Title that it works really well, but facial recognition technology isn't quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like DNA analysis, fingerprinting. I thought even those things can occasionally be wrong. DNA and fingerprints do not have a 100% accuracy rate.
That's so true. But is it helping get people out of prison?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So DNA is really, really high. But fingerprinting, that can be a little screwy, especially if you're looking at older cases when they weren't able to do it as well. And then people do have some similarities with fingerprints. They're not entirely individualized, right? So you can have wave patterns and circle patterns, which you will see among family members.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you could actually mix up your DNA with family?
Fingerprints, DNA.
Went to jail and it was someone in their family that did it. Wouldn't that be interesting to know?
It would be hard to find out, though.
That's true. Until unless they got out.
Yeah.
By then it's too late.
in place for people so that no one is going at it alone. I also think in the real world, any